Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play 1001 Games. I'm your host, Gaming Jay, and today we're playing Gravitar! You can see the title there was glitching out, going nuts. Gravatar is a vector-based space game with gravity and planetary exploration. Its working title was Lunar Battle, but no more. Now it is the beast known as Gravitar. As you can see, it looks a lot like other games we've seen before, like Thrust or Gravity. Oh, the computers gave up there. It was like, and I'm done. It just crashed into the planet. Made no attempt to save itself. Anyway, this game is like games we've seen before, like Thrust, Gravity Power, Gravity Force. Usually these kinds of games are called Thrust clones, but here's a little bit of trivia for you. Gravitar here, yes, Gravitar, thank you, game, predates Thrust. It is basically like the Wolfenstein 3D of first-person shooters. Where this game came out first, it actually inspired Thrust, which came out 4 years later. And Thrust, I guess, would be like Doom in this analogy, because after Doom came out, everyone started to copy Doom, and first-person shooters were called Doom clones for a while, and games like this are often called Thrust clones. So Thrust came out after this, it copied this, it was inspired by it, we'll say, but Thrust gets all the love, and people acknowledge Gravatar exists, but apparently when this game came out in arcades, it did not do too well. And a lot of the Gravatar games got converted into Black Widow games. The reason it didn't do too well is because it has kind of a funky control scheme. Without further ado, let's go ahead and throw in a few quarters and get started here. We're also today going to check out the Atari 2600 version of Thrust, but we'll begin with the arcade rendition. So Thrust here uses a 5-button control scheme. It does not... Oh god, right into the planet. Oh, I was not pressing Thrust. See, this is the difficulty with the controls. It does not use a joystick. It does not use a joystick. So instead you have 5 buttons, and one button makes you go forward, one button shoots, like you can shoot those things, one button is like a shield, and that's basically it. Now without a joystick, this game is actually pretty tricky to control. So let's go over to this planet over here. Get to the yellow. Oh god, these things! Oh, what the hell? Oh, I made like an encounter! This is like a solo battle against this guy. Alright, there we go. We blew him up. Pretty easy, actually, as it turns out, but his buddy's gonna come after us. Okay, let's try and rush to the yellow oh, did not work. I was gonna just try and rush to the yellow planet, but instead I guess we will fight this UFO thing. Now, if you've checked out some of my previous videos, or if you yourself are from the 70s and 80s, you'll probably recognize this game as having a lot of similarities with Asteroids. And indeed, Asteroids was one of Atari's early vector-based video games. And, whoa, I thought I died right there. Gravatar here, oh my god, took a lot of the same mechanics from Asteroids, but just like amped it up and evolved it. So when we're on a planet here, by the way, what we're trying to do is blow up these like red bunkers, because if we blow up all the red bunkers, the planet will explode, and that's a good thing, apparently. Oh god, I was slamming into the orbit at too high a speed. It's really neat how the game begins zoomed out here, and then it zooms in. I actually wouldn't have imagined that this would have been possible with 1982 technology, but you know, it was, so that's something at least. Okay, let's see if we can actually do this. Those blue objects there are like fuel canisters, and I'm probably gonna kill myself here, but let's try and pick one up just so you guys can see. So you go like this. Did I get it? No. And I'm like dangerously low on fuel. My attempt to get fuel is draining all my fuel. I got it! Oh, I even... Oh my god, I'm doing so good. Doing so good. I'm really impressed by this zooming in and out feature. It's again, remarkable. Oh, god, that was amazing. Oh, you like that too? Okay, are there any other? Oh, mission complete. Oh, no! Damn it, no, we need one more life. No, we completed the mission and then we died. Oh, we were showboating and the showboating got us. Congratulations. Press the rotate buttons to change the letters. Are you kidding? This is going to take forever. Yeah, well, luckily the second letter is the same as the first. Oh, no, there we go. Okay. There we go. We're becoming part of the ages, guys. The 8th place score in Gravatar. We have worked our way up in the world. Speaking of high scores, by the way, the high score for this game was set back in 1982. It was a 12-hour marathon to get the score. And, hold on, I have it here. It was set by it was set by Ray Mueller, who scored 4.7 million points. And that 1982 score stood for 24 years until 2006, when a guy named Dan Coogan got 8 million points by playing for 23 hours. So talk about like just demolishing the previous score. The score before the 2006 one stood for 24 years, and then the 2006 one just like went ahead and like doubled the score. So, you know, that's got to feel bad to be old Ray Mueller. But maybe it feels good. Maybe it's sort of like your time has come. He's sort of like the Luke Skywalker, ready to let a new Jedi take the place and pass on, and so on and so forth. The devs of this game, by the way, thought the game was so hard that no one would be able to beat the final level. Like, they couldn't beat it. And I don't know, I guess gamers prove them wrong. Gamers are always like better than devs. I often think about, or I have to wonder like how good Miyamoto is. Oh wait, mission complete. We're done already? Oh my god. I have to wonder how good Miyamoto is at Super Mario. I have a feeling like he's okay at it, but he's not that good. Like not as good as like people who I've seen play Mario who are like impressively good. Like no offense Miyamoto, but you know, he is the dev, but just because you're the dev of something does not mean that you're better than the people who devote their lives to playing your creation. I also wonder, like, how much he actually plays Mario in his spare time. Like, does he actually ever play it, or does he not? Like, you know, it's not like I spend a lot of time watching my own videos. You guys watch more of my videos than I ever do. So it is one of those interesting things to think about, that sometimes the creators of things actually know less about it than the fans. And there you go. So anyway, I'm on kind of a tangent here. So we've been flying around these alien planets, blowing up these red bunkers. I feel like actually, so I tried this game for like a few minutes before I sort of started recording here, and I found the controls quite tricky. And I kind of feel like as I've been playing it here, talking with you guys, I feel like I'm getting a much better feel for the controls, and I feel like maybe they're not actually as hard as I thought, but at the same time I just totally died, so maybe that's like false cockiness there. Why are these? I want to go to this planet that launches the ships. Oh my god, what the heck? How are you supposed to do this? Oh no, I didn't want to exit. Go back in there. Oh, they killed me. They killed me for trying to attack their base. I legit want to know what's in that red planet. I'm going for the red planet, guys. This is like skipping right to Bowser in Mario 3. Like, you get the 2 warp whistles, and then you just go right into the last level. You don't even bother doing any of the other levels. You can do that, actually get the warp whistle on like level 3 or whatever of the first world, and then you get the warp whistle in the first castle, and then you warp, and then when you're in the warp zone, picking your warp zones, you use the second warp whistle, and then what will happen... Oh man, I can't believe I did that. Oh, and I can't believe I did that either. And then what happens is... oh, is that just it? You get one shot at that, and that's it? Okay, let's try a different planet. And then when you warp in the warp zone, you end up warping to the last part of the warp zone, and then you can basically, you know, go kill Bowser or whatever. I mean, you got to play through all of World 8, but you know, you got a shot at least. Oh man, this is weird. This is like an asteroid planet, and these turrets get more aggressive. I wonder also how the mechanics of like destroying all these turrets, blowing up the planet works. Like, are the turrets sort of... Maybe these turrets are like science stations that are keeping geological disasters at bay, and by destroying them, what you're doing is actually condemning the planet to destruction, because now, like, its base geological instabilities will, like, cause a meltdown that will destroy the entire planet. I think that's what's happening here, guys. So my guy is being portrayed as, like, a good guy, but we all know that he's actually the bad guy here. Boom, boom. Let's get this fuel, because it's like right here. Should be pretty easy to get. I'm always so bad in these thrust games. Oh my god, I'm all over the place! Get the fuel! I'm always so bad in these thrust games about, like, controlling myself to, like, have, you know, be precise about things. Okay, we got the fuel. Let's get the hell out of here before I kill myself. Okay. So we blew up that one. Okay, let's go. I wonder if these guys will go into the sun. Oh, they're immune to the sun. Okay. Let's try this planet over here. We haven't gotten to this one yet. The $6,000 planet. No, get into the planet. I'm like being bumped away from it. There's kind of like weird gravity stuff going on. Oh, it's like a cavernous planet. It's like it kind of looks like I'm flying really bad in those like stages where I'm flying between the planets. But really what's happening is there's like weird gravity forces. Like I'm getting pulled and pushed in like different ways around the universe. So, I mean, I am flying poorly, but I'm also being pushed and pulled in weird ways. If you do actually end up beating this game, by the way, what happens, like in most old video games, is the game ends up repeating, except that the next time that you play through the game, the gravity is reversed. So right now, gravity is slowly... Oh my god, I can't believe I survived that. Gravity is slowly pulling me towards, you know, down. But, oh my god, if I survive and kill all of the planets, and then I you know, play the game again, then next time gravity will be pulling me out into space. So you kind of have to, like, you know, unlearn what you've learned, according to Yoda. And like, oh no, God! I did one little thrust towards the ground, and it like almost killed me, and I had to like compensate heavily. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. I hate having to shoot things that are below me in these thrust games, because you want your craft facing upwards, so that you can, God, kill it, damn it, so you can sort of keep yourself from hitting the ground. But when you have to face down, if you press thrust, you're just going to go towards the ground. So it's kind of like you have a few seconds to act before you got to rotate the hell out of there. Oh my God, damn it. Now this game again was known as being notoriously difficult in the arcade, so I'm not surprised that I'm having some trouble making any real progress here. And again, the developers, the two developers of this game, by the way, like just imagine how different gaming culture is. Like back in the day, a game could be developed by two developers. Oh yeah, we've been to this planet before. But the two developers who developed this game thought the game was too hard. So after you beat this game once, gravity reverses. When you go to play it a third time, all the terrain goes invisible, which now it seems like they're just being dicks. You know, like I could understand gravity reversing. Oh, I'm being like sucked in towards the planet too, by the way. Like look, like watch my ship. I'm not doing anything. See, I'm being like sucked leftward. That is trippy. Gravity's like throwing me off here. So I guess I'm just being pulled towards the center of the planet. It's kind of cool. Oh no, get away! I'm like not even bothering to pick up fuel, by the way, because like I know that like there's no way. If I tried to pick up fuel too, I would just be like I can't even survive. I need to be using shields is what I need to do. So anyway, you beat this once, gravity reverses, you beat it twice, now everything is invisible. And then if you beat it a third time, then what happens? Damn it. Is that now gravity is reversed and everything is invisible, so you get the best or the worst of both worlds, depending on your view. Oh God. Ah! I'm trying to like mix the shield in, but there's too many buttons. My brain can't think in those terms. It's funny, like I can play like a first-person shooter that requires like dual analog stick, 2 thumb buttons, and like 4 other buttons, and like a D-pad. That's fine. I can't wrap my head around a 5-button control scheme. Which just goes to show you, like, how much you automate games when you play them. Like, you think, oh yeah, first-person shooters, like on a console, yeah, like, you know, you put the controller in your grandpa's hand, you try and show him a shooter, and it's like, you laugh at, like, how bad he is with the controller. But remember, like, the first time you played a first-person shooter on a console, like, the controller was, like, really difficult to master. And I don't know how old you were. I was not that young when that happened to me. But, yeah, the first time I played a first-person shooter on a console, I hated it. But with enough time and practice, you actually get quite good at the controls, and then you don't even have to think about what buttons to press. Like me right now, I definitely have to think about what buttons to press, and if I press the wrong button, because I think of the wrong button, I'm just dying here, so. Yeah, of course I could play this game eventually, but the control scheme is pretty foreign, which is why I think there's so much benefit in standardizing control schemes in games. Like, first-person shooters these days all have essentially the same control scheme. Like, the right trigger shoots, the left trigger, like, aims down sights, you know, triangle or the Y button on an Xbox controller, that's the one that, like, swaps your weapons, you know, like X jumps or, well, X on a PlayStation controller, A on an Xbox controller. Yeah, you know what I mean. There's like a basic standard control scheme. Same with even with like Mario games. Like the B button runs, the A button jumps. That's just how it is. And even NES games back in the day that reversed that had the A button run and the B button jump, that wrinkled our brains. Even as kids, we were like, this is wrong. And you may think, well, not every game has to be controlled like Mario, but it's like Mario's the one that we all knew. So this is just like a design thing, but like, why not just use the same control scheme so that the user isn't struggling to learn the buttons, if you know what I mean. Because, yeah, again, I don't think this is an impossibly challenging game, but I could see why it didn't do well in the arcades, because nothing was like it in terms of its control scheme, and 5 buttons is quite a bit for back in 1982, and so I could see people getting frustrated with it. I think it's really neat. It's a really neat evolution of Asteroids, because Asteroids took place on one screen, but now we have planets to explore. We have a hub world with random encounters with UFOs and stuff. There's fuel that you gotta get. There's a red world that you have to destroy. I'm pretty sure once you destroy the red world, then the game resets, and now we have the reverse gravity and stuff. So, in fact, let's actually just give that one more shot. I'm definitely not going to do it, but let's just go ahead. We'll do one more credit here, and then after this, let's switch to the Atari 2600 version and see what the home version was like. Let's see if we can destroy these guys. Yeah, we can. Those guys are like nothing. All right, let's do this. Now, the red planet... Oh, we're encountering a UFO. That's okay. No, 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 God. He almost got us. Now, the red planet does not seem to have gravity. So that's one thing. Like, I'm being pushed away from the planet right now. That's so weird. Okay, so we have 23 seconds. My God. Oh, my God. I went way too fast. So it's like, it says shoot the reactor and then escape. Man, I don't even know if I could do it. Oh, God. Okay, let's give it 1 or 2 more shots here. We have 2 more lives. I'm not a quitter. You only lose at video games when you quit. And damn it, I'm not... Oh, God, not gonna quit. Or when you get killed by a UFO. Accidentally. I accidentally lost at a video game. Alright, here we go. Right into the red planet. Okay, I only have 5,000 fuels. Oh, damn it. The reactor, by the way, looks like a pair of lips. It looks like Hot Lips. Those like Hot Lip candies you can get for like 5 cents from like 7-Eleven. You know what the best candies were? The Coke bottles. The like 5-cent candy Coke bottles. Those were the best. I also like the sour peaches or the sour watermelons. Those are good too. I remember my friends and I, it used to be a thing where they'd give you like little plastic baggies in 7-Eleven. You could fill up with as many as you want. We would stuff those bags to the brim, and then we'd take it up to the cashier. When they asked you how many were in it, you'd always lie. You'd always be like, oh, I don't know, there's maybe like 20, but it's like clearly there's like 50 of them in there. But the cashiers never cared. They're like, whatever, kid. They're like, here, just take your candy and get the hell out of here. Okay, we only have 1,900 fuel. I'm pretty sure this mission cannot be done. But the first time I did this, I got really far. I think I didn't realize there was a time limit, so I wasn't rushing. But, holy crap! Talk about overcorrecting. Alright, well, we've seen Gravatar on the arcades. It's a cool expansion of Asteroids. Let's go see what the home version looked like, the Atari 2600 port, and talk a little bit about that. Alright, so this is Gravitar on the Atari 2600. Now, this game was actually only available to members of the Atari Club initially. There was like a silver release of the game cartridge. It was later sold in stores in limited quantities, but only Atari Club members could get it initially. It was then later released in a red box, and it was released widely. But these days, if you can get your hands on the silver version, it's actually pretty rare. And there really is no title screen to talk about. It's just sort of sitting here changing colors randomly. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. I'm kind of scared to try this, actually, because of how hard this game was to control with 5 buttons. But now I just have a joystick and 1 button. So I have to press up if I want to fly forward, and it's actually really tricky. Okay. Well, we did destroy that guy. Alright, let's get to a planet here. And do this. So you can see it's actually a pretty good recreation, all things considered, of the arcade game. Oh my God, don't hit the ground! Oh, it is so hard to fly forward though. I crave another button. 1 button for thrust, as opposed to both being on the joystick. It's funny, like, I was always interested in video games even as a kid, but like, it's remarkable how much more precise you can be with a D-pad than you can with a joystick. Like, I don't find joysticks all that precise. Now, how the heck do you pick up this thing, do you think? Oh, I want to figure out how to pick up fuel. I definitely want to figure out how to pick up fuel here, because there's no other button. Is it down? Oh, down! Boom! And we died. We died doing what we loved, getting fuel. All right, let's just kill this guy and get the hell out of here. Oh my God, it's so hard. All right, we have one more life. Yes, we blew up a planet. Great. So yes, it's you know what? Actually, I have played Atari ports that are way worse ports of arcade games. This is actually not too bad. Like if you really liked Gravatar in the arcade, this is actually a pretty faithful rendition. And again, all things considered, like actually I think Gravatar is like fairly advanced for its time. Like there's planets to explore and power-ups, and there's like a hub map and stuff like that. So it's simple, but like I could definitely see how this game would be sort of coveted a little bit. Can we get the... No, there's no way we're gonna survive if we go in there for the field. Oh, we could get this one, though. We could get this one. Just gotta... It's like really hard to work out the angles when you're just like a pixelated blob. And we're dead. And that's Gravitar. Oh my God. So, by the way, this game was only released, as I said, to Atari Club members initially. Guess how you became an Atari Club member? Take a wild guess. You sent in $1 US as a membership fee, and you're in. Can you believe that? $1? I mean, I know that this is like the early 80s, but seriously, $1? And not only that, not only did it give you like access to special stuff, but you got a 1-year subscription to an Atari Age magazine. So for $1, you not only had access to special things, but you also had a magazine subscription for a year. I mean, just the magazine subscription alone, like that is like a crazy deal. Also, it is kind of interesting to think how, like, you know, these days companies like Xbox, like Microsoft and Sony are always trying to get people to sign up to be like on the PlayStation Network or Xbox Live, and they give you all these perks of free games and stuff like that. And like that kind of stuff was going on even back in the days of Atari. Like they were trying to get you to become, Atari Club members. Forget the fuel; it's just gonna kill us. So it's kind of neat that, a lot of the stuff that we think of as, like, modern, if you look back, you can find examples of it, like, way back when, in, like, the early era of gaming. Okay, oh my God, I can't even tell what way I'm aiming. I want to go towards the red planet here. Get in there! Oh, I just, like, zoomed past it. Okay, kill him. Oh my God, and he spawned right away. Oh, and he got me. Yeah, I think the hardest thing here, well, one of the hardest things, this is actually really hard to play, given like I thought the 5 buttons was hard. This is harder. I can say that categorically. It's really hard to like figure out your angles correctly. Oh my God, they give us 60 seconds here. In the arcade we only got 20. Holy crap, we could actually do this. Maybe they give you 60 seconds because like it's so much harder because everything is like pixelated. Nope. No. No. God damn it. I hate that when you die there, you just get sent back. You get sent back to the beginning of the universe. You don't get a chance to like, oh God, into the wall. Give it another shot. By the way, I'm not using an Atari controller here. One of the cool things about Atari is there were so many cool third-party controllers. I found a controller called a Waiko Commander at a used game store in London, Ontario. I was there not too long ago. Just right back to the title screen. I guess I failed there. Anyway, there's like a whole franchise of used game stores there called Game Cycle, I think they're called. They're actually pretty cool. And by the way, this is not sponsored or anything like that. But I like raising awareness about used game stores. I know people are torn about them sometimes because used game stores often will sell things for slightly more than you could find at like yard sales and stuff. So some people feel like the owners are, like ripping them off and stuff. And certainly there are some game stores I've encountered that were like went way too far and were like really trying to take advantage of their customers. But on the flip side, like, I love old video games, and if people didn't shop at old game stores, then eventually they would go out of business, and then thered be nowhere for me to go when I'm bored in London and I want to look at video games, right? So it's like, I actually, oh my God, I can't even get out of the cave. I actually like supporting these little game stores by buying like little things from them here and there when I see them. So yeah, I got this neat Atari controller, and you can Google it if you're curious what it looks like. But it feels way better than a normal Atari controller. I hadn't used Atari controllers for years before I started making this game series. And the first time I used one again, after not having used an Atari controller for years, I was shocked at how badly it controlled. It felt so stiff, and it was very difficult to use. I mean, that's part of... I do also believe that if you're going to play these old games, you should be playing them with the right controller, so you can get the right feel for what the games felt like, but that is just rough. Like, I feel like I would not want to play this game with an Atari controller. Maybe having the Waiko Commander controller is making it a little more tolerable. This kind of looks like a giant space invader, this, like, asteroid here. Boom! Boom! Oh, we got him. We got him. Let's get the hell out of here. No, 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 not into the wall! Yes, okay, so there's like 2 or 3 planets we could destroy. I'm confident with enough practice that we could get more. Oh, man, we're doing better in this than we ever have before. We've destroyed 2 whole planets. The one thing that I have not perfected is picking up fuel. Because definitely if you're not picking up fuel... Oh, damn it. Then what will happen is eventually just run out of fuel and die. So you have to be picking up fuel as you kill guys. Anyway, this has been Gravatar on the arcade and Atari 2600. And I actually think Gravatar is like a really interesting example of like a game evolving. Like, it's clear, this game is clearly the next step of Asteroids. And I never knew that Asteroids sort of had a lineage and carried on and so on. Also, like, we've as I say, we've seen Thrust games, and even Thrust itself owes a lot to Gravatar. You know, it's a whole genre of like retro games. These like Thrust clones. We've seen these things around. So it's kind of neat to go back and play the game that kind of started it all. Oh my god, I can't... What? That actually worked? I thought the screen would wrap around, I'd go to the right. I didn't think I'd bounce there, but I can't believe I survived. Jeez, oh my god, it looks like I'm playing really well. But I am just, like, surviving by the skin of my teeth. Oh, but we got him. Right, let's get the hell out of here. So yeah, I don't know. Gravatar here, you know what, actually, it strikes me as, like, one of the better Atari 2600 games that I've played. You know, like, there's actually some stuff to it. There's like a world to explore and stuff, and you get the sense that I mean, all Atari games in some sense are just like glowing dots on the screen. You have to use a lot of imagination with them, and even though, yes, it's hard to figure out the angle of your ship and stuff, I feel like this one's actually does a pretty good job at like being semi-complicated. So as far as an Atari game goes, I think this is like actually could be one of the hard but, you know, more interesting games out there. As far as an arcade game, I was impressed by the vector graphics and stuff, especially the zooming in and out. And yeah, like, again, seems like a pretty cool evolution of Asteroids. I don't know if... I think ultimately this game has a lot of difficulty to it. And so whether we're talking about Atari or arcade, I don't know if it's going to appeal widely to tons of people because it's so hard. But as you can see, you know, even playing around with it for like 20 minutes like I have, you know, it's doable. Like, I've been passing planets here and there. So with a bit of practice, I could see this one being like kind of an interesting old retro game, if you're looking for that kind of thing. But hey, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think, old Gravatar here? Do you think it belongs in the 1001 Games Just Play Before You Die book? I mean, I think it's historically relevant enough to actually belong in there and be one that maybe you actually should play. Especially because, again, Thrust, you know, took Gravatar and expanded on it, and then Thrust itself became a whole thing. So maybe this is a game that you should play before you die. I don't know. But share your comments about this game, about my assessment of it here, down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, whether you've been, or whether you enjoy the game or not, hopefully you've enjoyed checking it out with me. If you have, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Oh, and I ran out of fuel right there. I had cleared all the planets. I cleared all the planets. Oh, my God. Anyway, guys, until next time, you take care of yourselves. And peace.